Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gav Major and this is Amateur Reports. Amateur Reports is your gameplays with my commentary, and today we have a submission from Ekizoon in the Tier 5 German premium cruiser Graf Spee. Now this is a Tier 4 and 5 game of Capture the Base on Fault Line. On the enemy team there's a T-22 in a division with a Königsberg, there's a Fubuki, a Krasny Krem, Furutaka, a Graf Spee, a Batang, a New York and a Fuso. On the friendly team, there's an A-caster in a division with an Emily Batan, a Fubuki, a Königsberg, Ekizoon in his Graf Spee, a Pytovliki, a Texas, a New York, and a Dunkirk. So he's on the left, and he's going to be playing the left as we see. Taking a look at what the rest of the team is doing. He has a friendly destroyer to his front though, which is probably going to be quite good. I mean, he's going to get some spotting assistance hopefully. So as always, down in the description will be the command builds and the modules that have been used. Now this submission from Ekizoon came in about the same time as his previous submission in the Graf Spee, which was used in Sea Trials 6, I believe, and that will be counted top right now and also on the end screen. Now the Graf Spee is an interesting little ship, I have to confess. She is one that I do have. Enemy Furutaka and enemy Graf Spee spotted to his front. Another enemy cruiser has been spotted off to the western flank. So the way that these spawns work on the fault line for Capture the Base is that basically 6 of Ekizoon's team will spawn over here on the eastern flank up against 3 of the enemies, and basically then this is mirrored with 6 of the enemies spawning on the western flank against only 3 of the friendlies. So it looks like the Furutaka is definitely pushing up. Spotted by an aircraft, probably from the Furutaka. Quickly chucking out some torpedoes and using a minor amendment to his speed in order to make the turn. So modules wise, he is using aiming systems and steering gears. Graf Spee sailing broadside on. Definitely something to take advantage of. Concerning thing is that the enemy team, which has 3 battleships, none of their battleships have been spotted. Looks like the Furutaka is going to be coming around the island with vengeance. Slowing down to dodge the torpedoes from his port side. Hopefully his torpedoes from his starboard side might be able to make their mark. Furutaka just sticks her nose out enough just to get hit. Now enemy battleships are starting to be spotted. We've got the Batang off to his right there, which is definitely a concern because this is a very awkward position to be caught out in, and also looks like there's a destroyer in the centre because of those torpedoes crossing his bow. And there's Königsberg around here as well. Batang's showing in broadside, and it should be remembered that the Graf Spee does come with 12-inch guns. Only getting a single shatter though against the Batang, unfortunately. And the enemies are starting to stack up behind the island to his front. Sending out another volley onto the Batang as the Fubuki lays a friendly smokescreen. T-22 spotted in the centre, so we were correct in the belief there was a destroyer in the centre. Ooh, cheeky, getting an assist out on the Batang, scoring a nice hunky amount of damage with those 12-inch guns. So that's the thing, even though the Graf Spee is a cruiser, she's a heavy cruiser, with those caliber guns as a battleship, you really shouldn't underestimate the capability of those shells against a broadside battleship, really. It looks like the enemies are starting to get cleared out from behind the island, but it's come at the cost of one of the, well, 2 of the friendly destroyers, is it? But the Furutaka has gone to his front. So that just leaves the T-22, the Königsberg, whatever that battleship is, and the Graf Spee. That's in New York. Spotted by the lingering aircraft. Was that a Graf Spee broadside on? AP loaded. Aim for the waterline. Now that's quite a nice cheeky one. No, the Graf Spee is still by aiming at the turret, he knows that he's going to be hitting the citadel, because the citadel it's more prevalent at the location of funnels and turret barbettes. Graf Spee insisting on staying broadside on, so simply a case of punishing her, kicking out the rear. And there we go, getting ourselves a third citadel against that Graf Spee. Now the Graf Spee is quite a nice cruiser as well, because she comes with repair parties. Königsberg sailing broadside on as well. Ekizoon finds himself in a position where the only way is forwards. He can't really turn away without exposing his broadside to the New York. So he hasn't really got an opportunity to turn off. He's got to be cautious of that T-22 off to his starboard side as well. He's just going to have to keep pushing the metal, unfortunately, which is what he's doing. Thankfully, he keeps dodging the torpedoes. He should be able to polish off the Königsberg quite nicely now, getting himself kill number 2. There we go. Now that leaves the New York, which is going to be quite dangerous. However, she takes 1, 2, 3 torpedoes, earning himself the high caliber medal, and 2 flood-ins, so she's definitely damaged combat. And the torpedo angles on the Graf Spee are actually very advantageous at times, meaning that you don't really have to expose yourself too much or too long in order just to flick out and get those torpedoes fired. Don't know where the T-22's gone, but it looks like New York is just going to dodge that torpedo, unfortunately. 14 seconds until the port side torpedoes are reloaded on his Graf Spee. So using that now, because he's angled, aim for something a bit softer like the upper bow, knocking out a turret and setting a fire. Now we know that the New York has already used damage con to counter double flooding. However, she packs a heavy wallop into the Graf Spee. New York starting to turn a bit more broadside on, possible opportunity to take advantage of this. However, yeah, kill would have been secured by the torpedoes. However, the AP into her broadside was enough to finish her off. Now it looks like we have a Fuso and a Krasny Krem, giving Ekizoon a bit of a chase here. Krasny Krem doesn't look to have a lot of health, so probably that's going to be priority target number 1. However, the Fuso is going to be very concerning, because she does pack a bit of a wallop and she can be quite accurate, and she has a lot of guns. Oh, cheeky Krasny Krem setting the double fire. Gonna have to damage con that because we've only got 8,000 health left and we're about a minute away from having a repair party. Kind of in an opportunity now just to run, try and break off the engagement. However, even when your detectability drops down, the T-22 is still near enough to you to keep you spotted. So unfortunately, it's kind of having to weather the storm, dodging those shots, but of course they're going to keep raining in and every hit is going to do some damage to you. Finally unspotted, so therefore the T-22 is somewhere a good distance away. Krasny Krem goes broadside on. Is she paying attention? 1 over pen and 1 bounce, so she probably turned in. Yeah, that looks like what she's done. So the Krasny Krem commander is playing the Krasny Krem correctly, which is a shame, I guess you could say. Another repair party now available, so probably going to be cracking that off straight away or as soon as possible in order to try and regain some of that HP. And it's going to be the last HP regain, I guess you could say, of this game for Ekizoon. So once this repair party is finished, he's really on his last legs, trying to lead that Krasny Krem, who seems to be giving us the dodge most of the time. Taking her down though with 1 penetration and 1 over penetration. It's just going to be a case of who can secure the kill. Will it be Ekizoon or will it be the friendly battleship to his starboard side? Probably really hoping that the Krasny does not set a fire, but you can see that the outer shells coming in from the Krasny due to all the guns that she has. And all this time the Fuso is there. Thankfully the Fuso doesn't seem to be targeting Ekizoon, seems to be targeting the friendly battleship. There goes the Krasny, but she's still got shells in the air, so she's still going to have one last stab at getting a fire, but unfortunately she doesn't get a fire, or fortunately I should say. Now that's quite amusing, the 12-inch guns of the Graf Spee actually incapacitating a turret on the Fuso. So it's just a Fuso and 2 enemy destroyers left, and it looks like from the minimap, well, the only remaining destroyer is the Fubuki, and that's all way off to the north of the map. So it's just down to Ekizoon to see if he can get rid of this Fuso. Fuso looks to be turning broadside on. Ekizoon does have AP loaded. Ooh, first volley goes all over the shop. Second volley, we do actually get enough hits to get 5,000 damage. Get yourself angled. Nice. Now it looks like she might ram the island. But still broadside on, still got AP loaded. This should seal the deal. Very nice. Getting himself kill number 4. We could have potentially had a Kraken with the Krasny, but unfortunately Krasny was just dodging the shots well, very well, doing a very good job. So, for his commander build, he is using von Muller in this game. The traits he has used are Beyond Range, Igniter, Punch Through, Fixated, and Fully Packed. And as inspirations, he's using Madden and Jellicoe. Well, it doesn't look like there's going to be too much more going on for the rest of this game. It's just simply down to whether the friendlies to the north can identify or locate the enemy Fubuki. I don't think there's going to be enough time to capture the base unless the enemy, friendly battleship I should say, actually gets in the cap zone with him. So until the end screen, a bit of Colonel Bogey's March. So here we are at the end screen, and Ekizoon was able to get himself 134,000 damage from 47 hits on target and 3 torpedo hits, causing 2 floodings and 1 fire, getting himself 4 kills and 6 citadels as well. So all in all, quite nice, getting himself Dreadnought and High Caliber. Quite an enjoyable game to watch and well worthy of Amity reports. Going on to the team scores, and you can see that Ekizoon is obviously coming top of his team, about 1,000 XP more than the next best player on his team, so definitely carrying his weight, especially when he basically had to go charging in and flex on the enemy because there was no real other way out of that situation, which didn't involve death. So it was almost a chance for him to see what he got, and he did very well, quite nicely against that New York and that Königsberg. Going on to the economy tab, and obviously making himself quite a nice tidy profit, because a tier 5 premium obviously does earn slightly more credits than a normal tier 5 tech tree ship, because the ship service cost is reduced and obviously the amount of credits you earn is increased a little bit. So all in all, quite an enjoyable submission from Ekizoon, very nice to see and quite enjoyable. Missing out on the Kraken, unfortunately. That Krasny just kept dodging, unfortunately. Well, if you have enjoyed this week's Amity Reports, feel free to give the video a thumbs up. If you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber, let's say thank you very much, guys, for your continued comments, contributions, and support. Down in the description is obviously the modules used and the command build by Ekizoon during this gameplay, and also the email address for the channel should you wish to send in your own game captures for Amity Reports or Sea Trials with the current season of Ranked. Be interesting to see if anyone has any good games that they'd like to submit in regards to this season's Ranked, or any games where their team kind of lets them down. If you end up with any games like that, then those would be absolutely perfect for Sea Trials next week. So I'll leave it in your more than capable hands. And also down in the description is the link to Patreon if you wish to support the channel on Patreon, because it is a non-monetized channel. Until next time, I'm the Gallifrey Major, and back to the port.